I've been getting this question the past few weeks several times from different students about the different kinds of readings and how it works for me and that sort of thing. So I thought I'd share a little bit about the way in which I like to teach it. So I like to say that there are two main categories of readings. First, we have communication readings, and then we have psychic readings. So communication readings would be things like mediumship, animal communication, anything where someone is communicating with you. These types of readings are at their essence telepathy. And this is really just the ability to communicate across a distance with the mind. Now, the other type of reading is called psychic readings, and these might be things like reading somebody's energy, might be psychometry, it might be aura readings, and so on. These, however, are at their essence about reading energy. And so both types of readings are based on this idea that everything is connected and the seeming distance between us and between things simply doesn't exist because we're all part of the same. The main difference between communication readings and psychic readings is that in communication readings, you are given the information by someone else, and you act simply as the medium bringing through that information from them. With psychic readings, you are actively taking the initiative to explore someone or something's energy. Where it gets confusing is, of course, the different ways in which we use the words to mean different things. So a psychic reading can also just mean a reading in which the reader is focusing on talking about the client's life and their energy. However, that can come through in either way, either in a communication reading or in a psychic reading. So the reader might connect to the client's energy and explore that and talk about the client's life. Or they might connect to the client's spirit guides, for example, and bring through information about the client and their life, but from a spirit guide. And so these two different ways of connecting, communication versus psychic, they're very different ways of doing a reading, and sometimes people aren't really aware of how they're doing it. But it can be helpful to explore a little bit and try out different types and see kind of what flows more naturally to you. Now, no matter what kind of reading you do, the information coming through that you're receiving during the reading, it's all filtered through your central nervous system. It's all just energy coming through your central nervous system, which then ends up as internal sensory impressions. So these would be images in the mind's eye, feeling sensations in the body, and so on. And so we often say that these sensory impressions come through our psychic senses. And so these psychic senses are really at the base of any kind of reading that you do, whether you do psychic readings or you do communication readings. And so just briefly, the psychic senses, the first one being clairvoyance, which just means clear sight, so seeing images in the mind's eye. Clairaudience just means clear hearing, so hearing sounds or words in the mind. We also have clairsentience, which just means clear feelings, so both physical sensations in the body or feeling emotions. Then we also have claircognizance, which just means clear knowing, so just knowing information without knowing how you know it. And then we also have clairgustance, clear taste, and clairalience, which just means clear smell. In your development with any kind of reading, you might find that as you develop in that one type of reading, you automatically improve in another type of reading without any additional effort. And this is because everything that goes under that category, that umbrella category of psychic abilities, is interconnected because of these basic psychic senses that you're using. So you do one type of reading, you're practicing using those psychic senses and you're strengthening them and you're getting more used to noticing them, and then you automatically have a leg up in other types of readings because you've already worked a lot with your psychic senses. So I had this question about the different types of readings and how I do them and all that. And it came up after a recent online group reading that I did. And what I had done for that group reading is that I had set the intention to do both mediumship, so connecting to people's loved ones and bringing them through, but also psychic readings. And really what I meant by saying psychic readings and setting that intention was just about bringing through guidance for people about their life and about their energy and all that. But the way I like to do psychic readings is usually by connecting to people's spirit guides. So during the online group reading, what I was doing is I was opening myself up to the other side, to people's loved ones on the other side, but also to their spirit guides. And when I'm doing a group like this, the way I like to do it is I like to open it up to Spirit and allow Spirit to decide who wants to come through first. And so they might start connecting to me, and then if it's loved ones on the other side, they'll start giving me information about themselves to help identify who they are. And then I'll ask the group if this makes sense to them, and then usually there's a person who will say, yes, it makes sense to them, and then I'll continue and I'll bring through a message from Spirit for them. Now, when it comes to spirit guides, when they connect to me in that group setting, they'll give me information not really about themselves, but about the person that they want to bring through guidance for. So they might bring up the current life circumstances that that person is going through, or any kind of other identifying information to help navigate me towards the right person in order to deliver the message from their spirit guides. So in both cases, I'm really being a medium and communicating with the other side, bringing through information. So despite one of them focusing more on the client's life and their life circumstances, in both cases, I'm doing communication readings.